Today, in celebration of my husband's birthday, yes, I'm going to be completing the second part to the 10 lessons I shared that I've learned from my marriage. Now, I want you to note that these 10 lessons were things I noticed in my husband. So, shout out to him for being the inspiration behind this content. Now, number 6, ensure that you marry a man who sees God's version of you. You want to marry a man who understands what God wants you to become so that he can be instrumental in your pruning, in your refining, in your growth. You don't want to marry someone who shuts you down, who limits you. You don't want to marry someone who does not see what God wants you to grow into. You don't want to marry someone who doesn't support your growth, who doesn't support your enlargement, in capacity, who doesn't see the vision that God had in mind. You want to marry someone who understands God's intention for you as a woman, you as a person. So if you're a man out there and you don't really understand what God's purpose, so let me say what God's vision or what God intends for your wife, or your intending wife to become, please go and seek the face of God and make sure you understand so that you can support her and be instrumental in her growth and help her become the woman God wants her to be. Make sure you marry a man that is secure. You don't want to marry a man who is insecure, a man who has low self-esteem, or a man who cringes when he sees you seizing opportunities, when he sees you on platforms, when he sees you doing the work, or doing what you want to do as you are led or as you've been sent to do. Marry a man that is secure, a man who will support you, a man who will be your biggest friend, a man who doesn't have issues with she's getting more views, or she's better than me in this sense, or so many people know her, they don't know me. You don't want to marry a man who pushes you to the background. Marry a man that is secure. Also, you want to marry a man who is quick to apologize. This is a very key ingredient to having a happy home. Even if you're in your courtship, ensure that the person you're with is someone who is quick to apologize. And if this is a problem, you want to work on it quickly. Why? I've seen it in my husband. My husband is quick to apologize, and I tell you, it's been a soothing balm. It has a way of helping you even as a woman to grow because at the end you pick up that trait. But aside that, also it fans, or let me say it cools the tension when there's a tendency for maybe an argument to break out or something. All right, so also, you want to marry a man who prioritizes you and your family. Marry a man that is selfless. Marry a man who prioritizes you, who puts you first, who understands that you are you, or you and the children, as the case may be, are his first priority, his major priority, who is not selfish, who would make sacrifices just to see to the well-being of you and your children. Marry a man who prioritizes you, a man who understands that he now has a unique, his family, you and him have become one, and you are separate from the home or the background he's coming from. So as he's looking out for his family, his extended family, where he used to come from, but he still understands that his wife and children, or his wife, is the major person after God in his life. Finally, marry a man that God has designed for you. I cannot overstretch this point. I cannot overemphasize this point. It is necessary and it's important for you to be convinced about the person that you want to marry. Ensure that God is leading you to that marriage. God has prepared you. He knows what future, he knows what he has for you. He knows what he wants to do with your life. He knows what he wants you to become. And so he has prepared a man that can walk that journey with you, or that both of you would unite and work on that journey to ensure that his purpose is fulfilled. So please ensure you marry a man that God has designed for you. Remember that our mothers used to joke that you won't marry somebody else's husband. I tell you, you want to ensure that you have convictions about that person before you get married to that person. All right, so I hope this 10 points I shared blessed you. I shared the first 5 in the first video, and this is the second part of the video. If you have any comments, please drop it under the video. And also, I'd like you to join me to celebrate my husband on the occasion of his birthday. Happy birthday, dear. I love you. Thank you so much for being a man that represents God in our home. Thank you so much for being willing to grow. Thank you so much for leading us. Thank you so much for understanding God's mind and God's model of family, decision of marriage. And I pray that you will continue to be a good example to many out there. All right, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll catch you later. See you soon. Make sure you subscribe to this channel.